Welcome back to Good Morning L&D. Today is a very special one. This is the final episode of our Unleash Paris special and the grand final of season 2. And for this, I'm sitting down with a true visionary, Guillaume Delacour, Vice President and Global Head of People Development at the industrial giant ABB. We dive deep into the two paths of AI adoption. We talk about avoiding the illusion of superpowers to stop our skills from eroding, and how to use AI as a thought partner instead. Guillaume calls this the Batman approach, and you will really love his Meerkat principle for taking the fear out of the new technologies. And don't worry, we're not taking a break, rather the opposite. Season 3 starts right away. We're kicking things off with 2 super exciting episodes. One with the Josh Bersin Company, yes, you heard correctly, the Josh Bersin Company, and the other featuring the CHO of TÜV Nord and the Chancellor of the University of Labor from IG Metall, Germany's biggest labor union. We are hosting live recordings for these 2 sessions, so you can sign up right away via the link in the show notes. And now, let's start into the episode. And if you want more, as always, make sure to subscribe.
Guillaume, what brought you to Unleash? I mean, we met, I think, 2022 for the first time here in Paris.
Correct.
At Unleash. You're still coming here.
Yes, I try to come here every year to what you meet all good friends, like seeing you today. The networking aspect, and then trying to get the trends, what's new, what's happening in the world of HR and HR technology.
So tell me, what's happening?
So I obviously, I mean, the game changer is AI. So everyone, I mean, there's not one single presentation not talking about AI. So maybe I want to give a bit of context of AI at ABB. So ABB, 140 years of history, industrial company, very much focused on innovation. Mm-hmm. And basically, I mean, we have been using AI in our products for more than 40 years. Not the Gen AI that everybody uses today in terms of Autopilot, Gemini, and so on. Machine learning, deep learning, previous generations of AI. And we still have it in our products. And we are now putting also in our products Gen AI. Then we have AI in the functions. And this is typically at Unleash in the HR tech what all vendors are proposing. So putting AI behind Workday, putting AI behind Phenom, which is some of our partners. But somehow it's transparent to the users. You just take it as a user, and the job is done by the experts on the side of the vendors or experts on the side of the but I think that the real game changer is AI when it's used by our people. Mm-hmm. So now everyone has had the experience to go on a chatbot, maybe ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, whatever you want. We have also one called Abby inside ABB. So there, the employees is in the driving seat. And every time that our employees, your employees are turning to AI, they are at the crossroads. On let's say the right-hand side, you have the illusion of what I call the illusion of superpower, where you're seeing that 95% of your job now is just to click on the button, and the machine, the algorithm is just going to do it all. It's going to do your work. It's going to, help you with your productivity. It's going to produce more. Mm-hmm. But very quickly, then you can question the quality of it. You can generate more ideas. Okay, let's meet in product names, and then you will get some. Is it really innovative? Is it really what you want? And also for you, for your own self-development, okay, you can consume more content, but are you really learning something? Are you really growing? So we believe that doing that over time in this autopilot mode is really leading to an atrophy of your human skills. On the other hand, if you choose the other road, in that other option, you still do 95% of the work, and pressing the button is 5% of the process. On that side, what you need to do is really go with the mindset that you can use AI as a collaboration partner. It's not a normal tool like any other tool that we have used before. It's really a collaboration partner that can help you as human do more things. But it requires also a lot of effort. Mm-hmm. You have to put work behind it. You have to put time behind it. And also it requires a process on how you want to use it. So if you put these 3 things together, like a mindset, I'm ready to put the effort, I have a process, then when you use AI as a collaboration partner, there you really have productivity gains. You really have to have this multiplier on how much more work you can do with higher quality at higher speed. You can also really have true innovation. You're going to really generate different ideas. And you're going to also accelerate your self-development. It's changing how we are learning, and AI can be a great partner, accelerating your learning, your growing, the connection with others. So if you do that, all of that, it's really going to help you to solve more complex problems, more complex tasks. And that's the name of the game of a company like ABB, innovation. So we want to nudge our people to go to this way. And maybe an image for that way is Batman. So Batman is a superhero, but I learned from my team is the only superhero not having superpowers. Batman is a human being like you and me. It has the mindset, it has the process, it has the hard work, and it uses technology big time. And I think that I would love all our employees, and I wish that also for myself, that I choose that word more often, really to put our Batman dress on, and then we just go for that mindset, process, hard work, and make the best out of AI as a collaboration partner. So that's because also if you do that over time, you're just going to sharpen, reinforce your human skills. Even if AI would stop tomorrow, you would be a better professional, you will be a better person. In the other way, in the autopilot way, if AI stops, you're just going to be a more weakened person.
Wow.
So that's the game changer for me of AI.
Yeah, there's a lot in it. I mean, so the first thought I just had, was this McKinsey study, which I found really on point. 80% using AI, 20% creating value with AI. Right? It reminded me on those two paths that you were describing. Then the second thing that came up was, just copy and paste the skill erosion, right? That you were referring to, right? That we get in a dependency maybe with AI, and that, certain skills which are critical are maybe vanishing. So that was super interesting. I love you to collaborate, to elaborate more here. And then the third thing was this idea of using AI as a thought partner, which I think is a next level for many, right? Because I think many, including myself, I'm most of the time still asking AI a question to get an answer to continue my work. And what I somehow hear between the lines, what you are talking about is, no, it must be an ongoing conversation. AI should be asking myself the questions and make me think. And then we maybe jointly, by combining our thoughts, come to something greater, better, faster. Is it,
Yeah, that's probably the way that we see it. We often say, think first, prompt second. So that's really, you need to have a process of when you're going to your most preferred chatbot. So it's really, okay, what do I want from it? What's my intent? What is the process that I'm going to follow? One of my colleagues, for instance, when she does a brainstorming session, she's specifically saying, okay, you're not going to produce any output, you're not going to give me any answers until you have really understood what I really want. And I want you to challenge me on my assumptions, on what I really want as well, and so on. So it's all this iterative process at the start, before you start prompting, at the start, to really get to what do I really want. And only when you're sure that your bot has really understood what you want, and that's in the end going to produce some plausible output, that then you ask, okay, now you can go and propose me options, solutions, and then you look at it. And then you still need to apply, after that, you still need to apply critical thinking. Does it make sense? I still need to go and talk to my colleague. Okay, this is what I got. What other ideas do you have? You need to still check the sources. So this is why we say that it's hard work. But especially on critical, complex tasks, or tasks that involve your self-development or generating new ideas, it's absolutely essential to not go the easy way of I just click the button, but to do that thinking with the algorithm, with AI.
Is that the future of learning?
So I don't know. I don't have the crystal ball. What we know for sure is that learning is changing. there is this concept that we used to have a memorial intelligence. I'm older than you are, Moritz, but in the world education system, I was educating in France and then finished my studies in Munich. But the world education system was mostly around memorizing concepts, items, formulas, and so on. Now, why do you need to memorize things? I mean, everything is in your pocket. So it's really shifting to what Professor Laredo at the Institut Pasteur calls the memorial intelligence. So it's really the procedural intelligence, sorry. It's about the process of learning. So back to the example I gave before, you really need to put the thinking on which questions I am going to ask. Apply the critical thinking on the answers I get, and so forth and so on. So it's, and I think Amy Edmondson talked about it, it's learning to learn. So we are shifting in that space. So yes, learning is changing, and it's up to us in the companies, at universities, in the school, to understand that, and then to explore new ways of doing learning.
And I mean, this is the big one, right? I mean, because that's not how you learned to learn. This is not how I basically learned to learn, right? In terms of so self-directed, you know, in a conversation, you know, with a bot or with AI. How do you help you people at ABB to, you know, develop into this new learning behavior, also this mindset behind?
Yeah, so I mean, ABB is big. I mean, it's close to 100,000 employees. So doing it at scale, I think that's the difficulty that we face in all big corporations. Now, if we slice it into, okay, like for instance, over the summer we did an AI summer camp, and we had 7,000 people participating in different sessions over a large number of workshops. So if you slice it, then it's first more manageable, and then two, then you can really think in everything that you do in basically the three ways that we as humans, we acquire new learning. And I used the example this morning at Unleash, like the meerkats. I don't know if you know the meerkats. It's one moon goose, I think, in South Africa, in the southern part of South Africa. It's one of these kind of looking like a bit of a lemming that goes on its back legs and going up. It has black eyes and around the fur around the eyes. So the way that they transmit the learning from the mother to the smaller ones is, for instance, on eating scorpions, because they are eating scorpions, which is very good that they chase them. So it's how do you teach your children, meerkats, on how to chase scorpions. So basically what they do first is they show how they do it. So the parent is chasing, hunting a scorpion, eating it, and so on. So there is this phase of visualization of the benefit. Okay, if I hunt and then if I get it, then if I get the scorpion and I can eat it, and it's my pleasure as a meerkat, good. Then the second phase is, okay, how do you bring that in a safe space? So the parents are just killing a scorpion, they're bringing it to the smaller one, and then the smaller one are just practicing with the dead scorpion, okay? The second phase is that they take a lively scorpion, but they remove the dart, so they don't get punched hit by the dart. And once they master that one, then they bring a living scorpion. No, so it's really practicing in that safe space. So the visualization of the benefits, practicing in a safe space, and then there is one thing that we have as humans, because we are a cumulative space in terms of knowledge and sharing the knowledge, is that for anyone having children or remembering when we were children ourselves, is like when you do that, you see your parents doing something, you do it yourself. What is the first thing you do? Hey, Mom, Dad, I have done it, no? So that's the sharing, and then you share it with your brothers and sisters, and then with your community, and that's the piece of the community management. Wow. So I think that this is essential in all the learnings that we do to help people visualize the benefits of using AI, and as we have seen, it's to show that it's the hard way, with effort, with mindset, process, and so on. But here are the benefits. You help them practice in a safe environment. You give them the tools, the exercise, the fun aspects of the learning, and then to provide the community to help them to share what they have learned with others. So I think it's really these three steps that maybe I would like to share in this podcast. That if we do that, we increase the chances of people adopting something like the meerkats.
And I didn't know about the meerkats, and I think what it shows so perfectly is it's taking out the fear.
Correct.
Right? Because I imagine the core challenge, if I don't know, emphasize myself in this baby meerkat and I see myself confronted with this scorpion. I mean, they look scary. They are dangerous, right? They can kill me. And now I shall eat them. I mean, are you fucking kidding me, right? And I think, this guided mastery, those small steps which are achievable, which are doable for me, give me the confidence and take out the fear, right? And they grow this confidence in myself. I can eat a scorpion.
Exactly.
Right? And in a way, I think that's a big question that I see many L&D leaders facing, this question: how can we overcome the fear, from people using AI, not identifying themselves also as techie, right? Because they're doing something very different, I guess. And I think you have described this perfectly with the meerkat. And now coming back to ABB, what are those little steps, those steps that you help people to win mastery and win confidence and leave maybe this fear behind when it comes to AI?
But people in my team, in the IS team, I think that maybe one thing to mention is that any training, any adoption of AI, it's a teamwork between IS, HR, the legal team, the comms team. So it's not like any other topic. You need all these experts in the room. So when we deliver session, or when we deliver like the AI summer camp over multiple weeks, it's really a collaboration between different departments. So then all sessions are different, but I think the main idea that I wanted to share is trying to do in all sessions the visualization of the benefits first, instead of talking about the fear and what we always hear, AI is going to take your job and so on. But the visualization of the benefits of you as human, if you follow this process, but the effort, the mindset, and so on, you're going to reap huge benefits for yourself and then of course for ABB. Visualization of benefits, practicing, do the workshop. We try to do it in a fun way. And then after that, go practice and then share it on the community. So all the workshops are different, but we try to follow a bit this recipe.
I don't want to overstress the example with the meerkats, but I think I'm not stuck here. But
tonight you're going to go on YouTube to check.
Absolutely. I mean, who is that parent, right? Who's showing it and who's guiding and who's making sure that the next step is doable. And I mean, I want to hint a little bit towards the leaders and their role in all of that.
Yes. So in an ideal world, yes, the direct manager should provide that safe space, the visualization of the benefits, encouraging their team members to go on the internal social media. We have Viva Engage as a platform, or Teams communities, and so on. But it's not always the case. So I think that this is where you can put in place reverse mentoring. Maybe then it's the other way around. It's some of the employees teaching others or teaching the managers. And it's us, again, IS, HR, comms, legal together in the trainings to give that incentive and safe space to practice.
Yeah, and then again, what is their scorpion they can kill, right, and eat, right? I mean, I think also leaders have in a way to understand the benefits, from AI. They have to somehow learn how to master it, and I mean, also, I think here, at least I see a need for many organizations also to, not just expect their leaders, right, to know the way in that sense and to know how to do it, right? So how are you doing, or are you having specific, programs, offers for your leaders?
So maybe to go back to the first part of your question, what is the analogy with the scorpion here? I would say that's the autopilot.
Yeah.
When you believe that using Gen AI as an employee is clicking on the button is going to do 95% of the job. That's for me the scorpion, because you're not going, unlike the scorpion directly biting you, you're not going to notice it. You're just going to notice it over time, after maybe 1 year, 2 years, 3 years of just doing that. But but that's at that point you will have had an atrophy of your human skills, of your critical thinking, of your ability to generate new ideas and so on. You will have forgotten what is a good quality work and so on. So I think that the difference here is that the venom of is really that illusion of superpower, that illusion of I can externalize everything to AI.
Yeah.
So I think that's the danger of following that road of just clicking the button.
Yeah, but I think this needs so much kind of creativity, imagination also from the leaders' end, right? Because I feel some leaders still feel or understand their task when it comes to AI adoption. Oh, I have to make my people use that tool so that they are more productive. But what I get from companies who are really successful implementing AI is, no, those leaders have to understand how AI is fundamentally changing every fabric of what they are doing. I don't know, take the example of Pfizer, who are, not just implementing an AI tool in their research and development process. No, they are changing the whole R&D department, right? Because now with AI, they have so many more ways to experiment, to run faster, and scaling faster their kind of tests of new vaccines. And this, increases productivity by, 80%. And therefore they need a completely different trust in the teams to work with AI. They have to, build more psychological safety in their teams. And so on and so forth, right? And I think this is so much a bigger task than just giving people that tool and make them use it, right?
Yes, correct. So maybe I explained the way that we organized trainings overall on AI at ABB. ABB is a decentralized organization. We have 3 main businesses, something like 15, 16 divisions below the 3 businesses. So there is a piece of AI, what we call AI fundamentals that we give to all the employees. And this is about AI tools, and it's about the fundamentals of AI, and it's about the data, how to use data in AI and so on. That's the first layer. The second layer is the responsible use of AI. Cybersecurity, it's the intent, it's the values you put behind, being transparent about it, being ethical about it, and so on. And then the third layer is, okay, what do you do with it? So this is where we have this productivity, exploration, safe development. So that we try to offer it to all the employees. Right? Then there is kind of a second layer, if I may say so, which is by functions. So the functions can have dedicated trainings. HR might have dedicated trainings of what does it mean AI in HR, finance, AI in finance, and so forth and so on. The third one is around the leaders. So what is changing in your leadership? So in all our leadership program, that's really what we try to work, with ourselves when we deliver the training ourselves, but otherwise with our academic partner. So we go to our academic partners and then we say, okay, we want you to bring the change that AI is bringing in terms of leadership in the program. And then also on that layer with the business schools, it's in our leadership program, it's explaining how AI is changing your supply chain, it's changing your way of doing business, and so forth and so on. What you just mentioned with the example of Pfizer. And then the last layer is by businesses, any additional ad hoc specific training for each business. And each business might do a reinforcement of the previous layers and might do additional trainings for their leaders. Like maybe, for instance, specific trainings for IS professionals working with the R&D department, for instance.
Wow. Now we've dived so deep into AI adoption, and you said it's the topic, right? Everyone is talking about it here at Unleashed, but I think also beyond on every kind of talent leader, L&D leader conference, it's the topic of our hour. But what do we maybe miss, or what is maybe, what are other topics that you feel are maybe same important or important too, that we shouldn't lose out of sight now with AI, being all over the place?
Do you mean next to AI or on AI that we have not discussed?
Next to AI, and maybe also please feel free to add on topics that we haven't maybe touched on AI that you feel are also critical.
I think to speak about the positives of AI in our space, in people development, leadership development, AI has this ability to personalize and democratize a lot of historical elite HR services, like executive coaching.
Yeah.
Executive coaching was only for few executives. Very expensive, tailored to specific needs of executives, very, very high impact.
Yeah.
Now you can bring AI coach in the professional space to almost all your employees with pretty good, decent results. It's not a substitute, it's a complement, but at least you can go at much broader scale. So I think that's really what excites me about AI is that it democratizes a lot of HR services that were before for the happy few. So that's I think one thing that I would like to mention about AI, and that's for me a big message of hope for all of us as HR professionals. It's very exciting times because we can go at much bigger scales, much quicker on much more services. That's one thing. On the leadership learning, for instance, or just learning in general, it's also going to make the teaching and learning process so much more interactive, so much more personalized, so much more interactive, so much more on the spot when you need it, and exactly understanding at which level you are, and then not moving on until you have found out which level that you have checked that level to move on. So I think that it's a fascinating time for anyone working in HR because it's really giving us the ability to help our employees to become the best professionals we have ever seen in the workplace. I really think that if they go not for the autopilot way, but if they go really for the hard way, where a change of mindset, they put the hard work, they put the process, they have the tools, they know how to practice, they have a supportive manager and so on. I'm convinced we're going to see the best professionals in the workplace we have ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Now we have been talking a lot about the front end, right? So, AI adoption, training people with AI and so on. How do you think does AI also change your job, the job of, the head of people and leadership development, but also maybe of your team, right? Because I think also here this AI first approach when it comes to content, design or, developing, learning content, training content to be more precisely, I think can have a big impact. Do you experience that already, or are you experimenting with your team on that as well? Or do you have a picture in mind where this might go?
Yeah, I think the picture is really to understand that there is work to be done. Mm-hmm. That work, we need to understand what are the tasks behind.
Yeah.
Some of these tasks are mundane tasks and can be automated. Some of these tasks are very suitable for AI to be taken over by AI. Okay, very good. Automated, give it away. Some of these tasks are best done by humans, but are best done by humans also where AI is a collaboration partner. Mm-hmm. So I think it's showing to our employees that yes, some tasks are going to go away, but more tasks are going to be created, and also on the tasks where they are much needed, AI is still of help. So I think it's really trying to explain that, and there is no one size fits all. It's really a work that has to be done job by job to understand this. What is the work that needs to be done? What are the tasks? Which tasks can be automated? On the task that's where human is most needed. How to best then do it in the future in collaboration with AI.
Mm-hmm. So what I hear is that the job of you and your L&D team becomes also a bit more processual, kind of. You become more workflow designers, applying AI in different stages of the process of, for example, designing or developing a new kind of training or engagement.
I mean, if it could be, I think that if we teach people that they can be in the driving seat and they can be the ones doing that analysis and saying, okay, but that can be automated, and this is much more fun for me to work on this more interesting task, more complex tasks. I think my job lies there more than doing the analysis or turning our department into an analysis of all the jobs and doing the thinking for them. So it works. I mean, some companies do an excellent job at doing that, and you can meet some of them at Unleash. I also think that our job is to put the human in the center, in the driving seat.
Yeah. Coming also to an end of the conversation, we with Good Morning L&D really try to be a wake-up call for talent and learning professionals. What do you think are maybe the one or two wake-up calls every L&D professional should listen to very closely these days? And that can, of course, build on the conversation we had around AI.
I think that there are, let's face it, there are probably more trainings than ever before available to employees. You have a much broader education base available for your employees. But then, I mean, how can you nudge your employees to go and consume it, learn something, apply it, develop themselves, and so on? So I think it's maybe the next frontier is there. How do you keep that fire for all your employees? I mean, I want my 100,000 employees at ABB to have that inner fire that, hey, I want to grow, no? Yeah. So we have, I think we discussed it previously, Moritz, the learn, connect, grow philosophy at ABB, no? Everyone wants to grow. To grow, you need to learn. Learning, growing are best accelerated, but with connection, with human connection, networking, generating ideas, exchanging, and so on. So how do we keep that inner fire that we all have as children, no? That curiosity, that learning throughout all our career. I think that is a bit the name of the game for any L&D person. And I think that there is this danger with, like to AI on that autopilot, that we are going to take away that fire from all our employees. That I am in the driving seat and I want to learn something new, and I want to be a different professional, and I want to expand my career, and I want to take another job, and so on. So if we can keep that fire in all our employees, I think that it's half of the job is done, because then everyone will find his her way to the learning content, to the different jobs, to the big projects, and so on. But how do you keep that inner motivation to move forward? So I read this quote over the weekend, and I shared it this morning at Unleash, which is from a Persian doctor from the 10th century, Ibn Said. And then he said that the value of life is not measured by its length, but by its breadth and density. So, I think that this is where the fun is. You know, when you're here in that present moment and then you want to learn something, there is an image of riding that horse. That's the bumpy road, that's the hard road, but that's really where the joy is. So I think that as L&D people, we want to create these aha moments where we have this shoot of dopamine. No, so I think that maybe the last image I would like to give is the Archimedes, no, the mathematician Archimedes of Syracuse. And, there is this famous story where the king asked him, okay, is that crown made of gold or not? No? And then he was thinking about it. And then when he was in his bathroom, he found the solution. And then he went out of the bathroom running in the streets naked. And the story says of Syracuse, Eureka, Eureka, no, I found it. So that's this excitement that when you find something yourself, when you find the solutions to a problem, when you have learned something new, going back to the meerkat, when the meerkat is going for the first time to chase a scorpion and kill it and eat it, this is the joy. And I think that we need to make sure that our employees have that joy intact throughout their career with us as employer, with ABB. If you keep that fire intact, of that willingness, hey, I want to grow, I want to learn something, because I know it's hard work, but it's so much rewarding, and I will have my aha moments, my eureka moments, then I think half of our job is done. And that it does not rely on AI.
I know we're over time, but I'm so curious. Have you found some answers to that already that work? Or is it a mix of different answers? How do you light up this fire or keep it burning?
I think we have all experienced it.
Yeah.
At some points we have experienced this aha moment. I worked on the problem, I found the solution. Finally, I got it. Yes, and I want to share it with others. No. So since we have all experienced it, is our objective as L&D professionals is how we're going to recreate, possibly recreate that in any lesson, any leadership training that we are giving, any AI course that we are giving, and so on, so that people have this eureka moment, because this is what will make them return to the next training. So I think I don't have a one size fits all. It's really how do you
several
create
ingredients, I guess.
several ingredients, but it's as an L&D professional, I think if we go in the design of the courses and in the delivery of the courses with that in mind, how I'm going to create this aha moment, I think that's the graal, no, of L&D professional.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thanks to you.